this is an extraordinary war of words between the president and the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. It's almost unheard of for the president to take on a member of the High Court. But now John Roberts is getting the Trump Twitter treatment. This morning, Supreme Smackdown. Chief Justice John Roberts issuing an almost unprecedented rebuke of President Trump.
Mr. President.
After Mr. Trump criticized a ruling from a federal judge in Obama appointee in San Francisco, part of the Ninth Circuit that put a hold on the president's plan to crack down on those seeking asylum along the border.
You go to the Ninth Circuit and it's a disgrace. This was an Obama judge.
When asked about the comment by the Associated Press, the Chief Justice said, "We do not have Obama judges or Trump judges, Bush judges or Clinton judges. What we have is an extraordinary group of dedicated judges doing their level best to do equal right to those appearing before them." Roberts added, "That independent judiciary is something we should all be thankful for." President Trump fired back in a series of tweets Wednesday, in one saying, "Sorry, Chief Justice John Roberts, but you do indeed have Obama judges, and they have a much different view than the people charged with the safety of our country." In another, judicial activism by people who know nothing about security and the safety of our citizens is putting our country in great danger, and even suggesting dividing up the Ninth Circuit. President Trump and the top justice have had a checkered relationship. Recently, Mr. Trump praising Roberts during a White House ceremony.
Chief Justice Roberts, thank you very much. Thank you.
But as a candidate, he was critical.
Justice Roberts turned out to be a nightmare for conservatives.
Roberts, typically cautious and restrained in his public statements, stressed the Supreme Court's independence.
Thank you.
While speaking to law students earlier this year.
What I would like to do briefly is emphasize how the judicial branch is, how it must be, very different.
And there is an update on another topic, the Russia investigation, after President Trump submitted written answers to special counsel Robert Mueller earlier this week. Overnight, I spoke with the president's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, who tells me they expect to hear back from the special counsel as early as next week, and they are expecting follow-up questions. For his part, President Trump is up and tweeting on this holiday. Just tweeted out, "Happy Thanksgiving to all." He'll spend this day with family and also making calls to members of the military. Chanel and Craig, back to you.
All right, Kristen, thank you, and happy Thanksgiving to you, Kristen.